guys, so I haven't done a video since like NOM, so we're gonna be talking about the cons of being a personal trainer today. So the last video, if you missed it, it's right here. It's basically the positives of being a personal trainer, and today we're gonna be focusing on the negatives. This is for people who are interested in the profession, wanna be personal trainers, so you can get a little insight of what your day is gonna be like. So I'm gonna be talking about the negatives. So without further ado, let's get into the list. So number one, we are talking about your schedule. I know in the first video, in the positives, I talked about the schedule and how if you have a good schedule, it can be a great job. If you have, now we're gonna be talking about if it is a shitty schedule, it's gonna be a bad job. So what we wanna talk about is, like, sometimes when I first started out, I would have clients lined up all the way in the morning, then a few in the middle of the day, then a few at night. So you're always having to go and come back to the gym like 3 or 4 times a day. And it's easy if you live close to the gym like I do, but if you live somewhere far away, it becomes a really tiresome job because you're waking up early in the morning when everyone else wants to train before work, right? And then you're going in, finishing at like 9 or 10, then you go home for 2 hours, maybe get an extra hour or 2 nap in, eat, and then you gotta go home. Then come back again, do the middle of the day people, then go home again, come back and repeat, rinse, repeat, you know? So what we're trying to do, if you're a personal trainer, is you wanna try and set up your schedule in a better way. So what we wanna talk about now is number 2. So number 2 kind of plays in to number 1. Number 2 is working on your client schedule. As this ties into number 1, because if your clients can only do specific times, it's gonna affect your personal schedule, right? So let's say you have a perfect schedule in the morning, perfect schedule at night, but then there's that one person who wants to train at like 1 in the afternoon. So that kind of messes up your whole schedule. Now your day is all screwed. You want it to work out in the middle of the day, but you can't do that. So you always gotta account for these things if you're a personal trainer. Organization of your schedule and making sure that you have all the times filled in when you want them to be at the best of your ability is gonna be key, because there are gonna be people who wanna work in the middle of the day. So you're gonna have to make sure your schedule is organized, do what you gotta do in your free time. If you gotta work out, you gotta eat. That's the kind of stuff you're gonna have to worry about. Key is unpredictability. You never know how many clients you're gonna have. You never know if your clients are ever gonna go on vacation, what's gonna happen. Personal training, the earnings are a pretty big variable, you know, because sometimes you're gonna be making a lot of money, sometimes you're gonna be making very little. Summertime, Christmas time, anything like that during the holidays, March breaks. A lot of people leave. Sometimes people have babies, get pregnant, so it's hard to train them. So they leave and it leaves you pretty lonely. You're not gonna have a lot of clients, and then your earnings are gonna drop. So you always gotta plan ahead when it comes to these things. You gotta know when your money's gonna be good and when your money's gonna be tight. So you gotta plan accordingly. And number 4, I would say, is when you're first starting out as a personal trainer. It's like starting out at any other, like if you're starting any other business, the first, I'd say 6 to 8 months are gonna be the hardest, because you're trying to get all the clients that you can. I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, it's gonna be easy. You're just gonna get people to work out with me. How hard could it be? But you're getting people to sign up for a commitment. You wanna work out with them. Especially if you're working in a corporate thing, you can't do any shorter term workouts. You gotta make sure that you have them for the future, so that we have them set up for a plan. You got their goals ready, you got their goals in mind, so that they know what they're gonna be doing and what you're gonna be doing. It's not really smart to, in any business, to only forecast for the next couple months, right? You don't wanna be like, all right, we're gonna train you for the next 2 months, but who knows what's gonna happen from there. You wanna make sure that you have them for a long period of time so that they're successful and you're successful. So yeah, the first few months is always the hardest. We wanna make sure that you never get down on yourself, because if this is the job that you wanna do or the career path that you're gonna choose, you wanna understand that the first 6 months is always the hardest. I remember I always got down on myself because I couldn't find any people to train. I was always like, oh, when is this gonna get better? I feel like I'm just coming into the gym or marketing myself and nobody wants to come train with me. But now things have changed, so you always gotta keep your head up, stay positive, guys. The final con, but it could be a little con, could be a big con depending on who you're talking to, is finding time to work out for yourself. Because Sometimes it feels like you're training a bunch of other people and you're getting them to their goals, but then you forget about your goals because you're either too tired, too exhausted from your daily schedule, or you just don't even have time. Sometimes I have like 8 or 9 clients a day, and then you're working, like you're at the gym for like 12 hours. You don't know when you're gonna be able to work out on your own. You gotta make sure that you find those hour or 2 a day that you have free. Try and prioritize them to make sure you got like a workout for an hour and eating for 30 minutes to an hour. I know it's tough, but it's something you gotta do, especially since you're at the gym already. It's a little bit easier to get there since you're already at the gym working, but I know it can be rough because you're like, oh, I'm so freaking exhausted, I don't feel like working out after I just trained like 8 people. But it's gotta be done, guys. And that concludes for the cons, guys. That was pretty much it. So you guys like this video, you want to see any more like this, leave a like, subscribe. I'm gonna try and do some more workout videos because I feel like I haven't done some in a long time. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.